Hey, you got barbecue and bottles here, and today we're gonna be grilling a giant porterhouse. This guy we just picked up, it's about 80 ounces. You can see we've got the T-bone on this side, and then the fillet, which is just a beautiful fillet attached, and that's how you can tell it's a porterhouse. We're gonna be doing this with an indirect sear. So first we're gonna bring it up to temp on the smoker, and then we're gonna hit it with the heat and just sear it for finishing off and giving it those grill marks right at the end. And we're doing something unique here today. We're doing this in a challenge with Darian over at KosmosQ. So he's gonna be doing the same thing. He's gonna be grilling a porterhouse this weekend. Go over to his channel, check it out, and we're having a challenge to see which one you like better. Go over to my Instagram feed, you can vote there. We've got 400,000 followers participate in this challenge. Let us know whose porterhouse you like better, and just a friendly farmer's bet on this one. Anyway, so for this, we're gonna season this with some KosmosQs. We got dry rub, which is some salt, pepper, onion powder, and then we've got their cow cover. So this is more akin to your typical dry barbecue rub. Of course, we've had this porterhouse sitting out on the countertop for about an hour just to bring it up to room temp. Now let's season it. So with a steak this thick, you don't have to worry about over seasoning, so be generous as you coat your steak. Pat it down in there. Make sure you get it around the edges. Perfect. Flip it over, do the other side. All right, pat that down in there. Let's make sure we get the edges. This is so thick, it's about 3 inches thick. So you wanna make sure you're not just getting two sides of the steak, but you're getting every single angle. All right. Now for the cow cover. Again, let's go in, be generous here. Flip it over. Perfect. Now we're gonna pick this up, just roll it over on the edges, make sure we get as much of this rub as we possibly can. This smells incredible, the spices in these rubs. Oh, I can't wait to taste this on the steak. Perfect. All right, now we're gonna let this sit here for about 45 minutes. In the meantime, let's go get the smoker up to temp. So let's head outside. So for the reverse sear, we're gonna start the steak off on the pellet grill. Just give it a nice smoky flavor. So we've got our hopper loaded up with hickory pellets. So let's fire this on. We're gonna turn the pellet grill up to about 225, put the steak on here. It'll probably take close to 45 minutes to bring the internal temp up to about 122, 123. And then we're gonna take it over to the Weber and just give it a really good sear at the finish so we get those grill marks that we're looking for. Again, we're using hickory. Would love to hear what your favorite wood to smoke with steaks are. Leave a comment down in the comments below. I've tried with apple, I've tried with cherry, pecan, and personally I just really like the taste of the plain old hickory pellets. So while we're waiting for this rub to absorb into the steak, I just wanted to give a big shout out to Darian over at KosmosQ for doing this challenge with us. Go check out his YouTube channel. Awesome, great personality. You really enjoy his videos, I'm sure. I know personally I do, and I'm not getting paid to say this or anything, but his rubs are really incredible. The guy took home the world steak championship in 2015 and also the World Barbecue Competition Championship in 2015, all with some of these rubs that you can get on their website. So if you want to try something a little bit different than just regular salt and pepper on your steaks, go check out Darian. I'll put a link down below. Great guy, really enjoying doing this challenge with him. So we've had this resting on the countertop just for about 45 minutes so that the rub fully absorbs in here. We've got our smoker up to temp. Again, it's at 225. So let's open this up. I'm just gonna drop that right in the middle. Close the lid down. And we're gonna basically leave this on the smoker until the internal temp hits in the low 120s, so ideally somewhere between 120 and 123, and then we're going to move it over to the gas grill and hit it with some heavy heat just to sear it right at the end. So this will probably go for maybe 45-50 minutes here, and we'll check in periodically with our instant read thermometer just to make sure we're hitting our desired temperatures. So we're at the 1 hour mark. I just checked the internal temp on this guy and we're still at about 80 degrees. So I've cranked up the heat to about 350, just given the thickness of this porterhouse. We're gonna see if we can speed up the cook a little bit before it gets dark out here. Stick around, we'll check back in a half hour. So we're just gonna check the internal temp here and see if it's finished. Perfect, we're at about 120. So we fired up the sear station on the Weber. So let's transfer this over there and hit it with the heat. So we've got this grill just screaming hot. It was reading 700 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're gonna slap that down, 90 seconds like this. We'll turn it 90 degrees, flip it over, another 90 seconds, turn it 90 degrees, and another 90 seconds just to finish it off. And that's gonna give this some real great grill marks on the bottom. Now we're just gonna turn this 90 degrees. Let this go for another 90 seconds now. All right, now let's flip this. Perfect, getting a nice char there on the outside. Rotate it one last time, give it another 90 seconds, and this guy will be finished. All right, so now we're finished with our sear. We're gonna put this guy on our cutting board, let that rest for 10 minutes before we cut into it. So while we're letting this rest here for 10 minutes before we carve into this porterhouse and see whether we did got the medium rare that we were looking for, we're just gonna put a little compound butter down. We'll put a link in the description below to the compound butter recipe, but this is just a really easy thing you can make yourself, and it really ups the game on your steaks and adds a really nice flavor to it. So one learning so far while we're just waiting for this to rest here is, depending on the thickness of your steak, it's really gonna dictate the amount of time that you have to smoke. And as you'd expect, the lower your temperature, the longer it's gonna take. So we originally started this, we've got a 3-inch steak here. We started off at 225 on the smoker, and after an hour, we're still getting internal temps down in the 80 degree range. So we cranked it up to 350, ran it for another hour, and that's when we hit our internal temps of 120 that we were looking for. So you be the judge. You try and see what works for you. You do you, and that's one tip I've got for you on this recipe. So we've had this porterhouse resting for about 10 minutes, and you can just see the compound butter we put on top is glistening on the steak. This is awesome. I can't wait to carve in and see what it looks like on the inside. So to carve in, we usually go down one side of the T-bone and cut off the fillet, just like this. Boom, There we go. And then we cut down the other side of the T-bone. Perfect. All right, now let's carve into this guy, see how it turned out. Oh, you can see that perfect red on the inside, a nice medium rare. Some of the pieces that are closer to the outside, maybe a little more well done. I think that's because I cranked the heat up on the smoker. So if you've got a little bit more time, go and at the low temps, do it a bit more sous vide style on your smoker, getting an even cook all the way through. But this is gonna just taste incredible, I can tell you already. Got a bit of a smoke ring here that you can see from the indirect first on the smoker. So let's bite into this and give it the taste test. Oh, the seasoning on this, absolutely incredible. You can taste that cow cover. That's absolutely incredible. Really, really smoky flavor. You can taste the hickory, all the seasonings. Really recommend you try this out. So again, we're doing this as a challenge with KosmosQ. Go check out Darian's feed. I'll put a link below. You'll really like it. So if you like this video, give it a like below, smash that subscribe button, and stay tuned for next week's video.